Most people never realize they're trapped. They wake up, go to work, earn a paycheck, pay their bills, and repeat the cycle so many times that it starts to feel normal. Yet beneath that routine lies a question almost nobody dares to ask. If you're working harder every year, why does financial freedom still feel so far away? At some point, you have to stop being a slave to money and learn how to make it work for you. That's the difference between spending your life surviving and actually mastering the game. The strange part is that many of the rules you've been following were never designed to make you wealthy. They were designed to make you comfortable, predictable, and dependent on the next paycheck. The path that appears safe often leads to decades of financial pressure hidden behind promotions, salary increases, and bigger lifestyles. The people who eventually build wealth are not necessarily smarter. They simply learn to see a different game being played beneath the surface. One of the ideas that made Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki so influential is that it challenges assumptions most people never question. It forces you to look beyond income and ask what is actually creating freedom in your life. The answer is rarely what society tells you. What you're about to discover is not a collection of financial tricks. It's a different way of seeing money, success, and the choices that quietly shape your future. And the first realization may be the most uncomfortable of all. The financial script guiding your life may not even be yours. The financial script you inherited without knowing it. Long before you earned your first dollar, someone had already started writing your financial story. Not through laws or contracts, but through ideas repeated so often that they became invisible. Work hard, get a stable job. Avoid risk, save what you can. Hope everything works out in the end. Most people never stop to question these beliefs because they sound reasonable. In fact, they sound responsible. The problem is that a belief can be socially accepted and still lead you in the wrong direction. Millions of people spend decades following the exact same roadmap, only to discover that security and freedom are not the same thing. They become experts at earning money, but never learn how to build independence from it. The paycheck becomes the center of their lives, and every major decision revolves around protecting it. This script shapes more than financial choices. It influences where you live, what opportunities you pursue, how much risk you're willing to take, and even how you define success. Over time, the script becomes so deeply embedded that it feels like common sense rather than conditioning. The people who change their financial future often begin with a simple but uncomfortable realization. Many of the beliefs they inherited were designed for a different world. A world with different opportunities, different challenges, and different rules. The moment you start questioning the script is the moment you begin seeing possibilities that were hidden in plain sight. And once you see them, another question naturally emerges. If knowledge alone is available to everyone, why do so many intelligent people still struggle financially? Why smart people often stay broke? One of the biggest financial myths ever created is the belief that intelligence automatically leads to wealth. If that were true, the highest paid professionals, the top graduates, and the most academically accomplished people would all be financially free. Yet reality tells a different story. Many intelligent people spend their entire lives earning impressive incomes while remaining trapped in financial stress. The reason is surprisingly simple. Traditional education teaches people how to work within a system, but rarely teaches them how the system itself creates wealth. People learn how to perform jobs, solve technical problems, and climb professional ladders. What they often don't learn is how money moves, how assets grow, or how financial opportunities are created. This creates an invisible gap. Someone can spend years mastering a profession while spending almost no time mastering money. As income increases, expenses often increase alongside it. A larger paycheck creates a larger lifestyle. A larger lifestyle creates greater obligations. And greater obligations create even more dependence on future income. The result is a cycle that looks successful from the outside, but feels exhausting from the inside. The problem isn't a lack of intelligence. It's that intelligence is being directed toward earning rather than building, toward maintaining a lifestyle rather than creating freedom. The people who eventually break this pattern begin asking different questions. Instead of focusing only on how much they can earn, they start paying attention to what their money is doing when they're not working. And that shift leads directly to another trap that keeps countless people financially stuck, even when they appear successful to everyone around them. The hidden cost of looking successful. There is a powerful force that quietly shapes financial decisions, and it has very little to do with money itself. It is the desire to appear successful. Most people would never admit that they make financial choices to impress others, yet entire industries are built around this exact behavior. The trap begins innocently. A better car feels like progress. A larger house feels like achievement. Luxury items feel like proof that years of hard work are finally paying off. But over time, something strange happens. The pursuit of freedom is replaced by the pursuit of appearances. Instead of owning things that create opportunities, people accumulate things that create obligations. The dangerous part is that society often rewards the image. Friends admire the lifestyle. Social media amplifies it. Colleagues assume success based on visible possessions. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the pressure grows. More payments, more commitments, more dependence on maintaining the same level of income. This creates a hidden contradiction. The person who looks wealthy is not always wealthy. In many cases, the appearance of success becomes the very obstacle preventing real financial freedom. Resources that could have been used to build long-term security are redirected toward maintaining an image. Truly wealthy people often understand something that most people miss. They focus less on being seen as successful and more on becoming successful. One strategy generates attention today. The other creates freedom tomorrow. And when that distinction becomes clear, a much deeper transformation begins. Because real financial progress starts the moment money stops controlling your decisions and starts serving your goals instead. The moment money stops controlling you. For most people, money is tied to emotion. It influences their confidence, their stress levels, their decisions, and sometimes even their sense of self-worth. A good month creates relief. A bad month creates anxiety. Life becomes an endless series of reactions to financial circumstances. The turning point comes when money stops being an emotional master and starts becoming a practical tool. This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. Instead of making decisions based on fear, people begin making decisions based on strategy. Instead of chasing immediate comfort, they start thinking about long-term outcomes. Many people believe financial freedom begins when they reach a certain number in their bank account. In reality, it often begins much earlier. It begins when they stop allowing money to dictate every choice they make, when they stop seeing every challenge as a threat and start seeing it as information, when they understand that temporary setbacks do not define their future. This change in perspective creates a completely different relationship with risk, opportunity, and growth. Fear loses some of its power. Patience becomes easier. Decisions become clearer. The focus shifts from survival to creation. The most successful wealth builders rarely operate from panic. They operate from clarity. They understand that money follows value, discipline, and time. While others are constantly reacting to short-term events, they are positioning themselves for long-term results. And that is where another surprising truth begins to emerge. The greatest financial transformations are rarely dramatic. Most of the time, wealth is being built quietly, far away from attention, applause, and instant gratification. How wealth is quietly built behind the scenes. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to build wealth is that they expect it to look exciting. They imagine dramatic breakthroughs, sudden opportunities, and visible signs of progress. But real wealth rarely announces itself. In fact, its greatest strength is often how invisible it appears in the beginning. While most people focus on immediate rewards, wealth is usually created through decisions that seem insignificant in the moment. A disciplined choice today, a patient investment tomorrow, a skill developed over years. Individually, these actions look ordinary. Together, they create extraordinary results. This is why so many people underestimate the power of consistency. They are looking for evidence that something is working. But the most important financial changes happen beneath the surface. Just as a tree develops roots long before it produces visible growth, wealth often develops quietly before it becomes noticeable. The challenge is that modern culture encourages the opposite mindset. Everything is designed to reward speed, convenience, and instant gratification. People are constantly shown the visible outcomes of success, but rarely the years of invisible preparation that made those outcomes possible. Those who achieve financial freedom learn to appreciate delayed rewards. They understand that wealth is not built through isolated moments of brilliance. It is built through repeated decisions that compound over time. What seems small today can become life-changing years from now. Eventually, there comes a moment when the pieces begin to connect. The patterns become visible. The assumptions you've carried for years start to fall apart. And that's when the most important realization of all arrives. The problem was never that you were losing the game. The problem was that you were playing the wrong one from the very beginning. The day you realize you were playing the wrong game. Most people spend years trying to win a game they never stop to examine. They work harder, earn more, save more, and sacrifice more, believing that the next milestone will finally deliver the freedom they've been chasing. Yet for many, that moment never arrives. The finish line keeps moving. The pressure remains. The sense of control stays just out of reach. The shocking truth is that effort was never the problem. The problem was the objective. If the goal is simply to earn more money, there will always be another salary to pursue, another promotion to chase, and another expense waiting to consume the progress. The cycle continues because the rules of the game never change. Real transformation begins when you stop measuring success by income alone and start measuring it by freedom. Freedom to choose how you spend your time. Freedom to make decisions without constant financial pressure. Freedom to build a future that isn't dependent on the next paycheck. When you look back, you may realize that many of the beliefs you accepted without question were leading you toward stability, not independence, toward comfort, not ownership, toward participation in the system, not mastery of it. The people who change their lives financially are not necessarily the ones who work the hardest. They are often the ones who see differently. They recognize that wealth is not about appearing successful, earning the highest income, or collecting the most possessions. It is about creating options. It is about gaining control over your choices and your future. And perhaps that is the most powerful lesson of all. The greatest financial mistake is not losing money. It is spending years climbing a ladder only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. The moment you understand that, everything changes. Because from that day forward, you are no longer trying to win someone else's game. You are finally learning how to create your own.